we are set to go for a national title. Tennessee controls the opening tip. 5-2, Shannon Bobbitt gives it up to Sydney Spencer, who had a tough shooting game the other night. Anasicki backing in on Vaughn, doesn't get the roll, but it's tipped out. Nice job by Hornbuckle to keep it alive for Tennessee.
Rutgers opens man-to-man, exactly what Stacey Dales talked about in the pregame show. Essence Carson, the long athletic forward, will check Candace Parker.
Bobbitt launches the three and nails it. She is better than 40% from long range.
Pat Summitt talked about the fact that because Rutgers does such a good job of taking away your best scorer, people around Candace Parker will have to make shots. I've got to believe Bobbitt hitting that one makes Pat take a sigh of relief over there.
Rutgers 8 out of 10 in the first half. The other night can't start with a three. Parker stripped from behind. Got it to Hornbuckle anyhow. Bobbitt wide open, a tremendous ball handler. That one's kicked and will go out of bounds to Tennessee.
I like no reset on the shot clock. This was a rule they instituted last year. Active feet, Mike, means that you sometimes kick the basketball, and so you don't reward the offense with a new 30.
Spencer, turnaround jumper, got it. That's a great sign for Tennessee.
No question. You could not have asked for two better things to happen to start the ballgame for the Lady Vols. Support for Candace Parker initially. That can help Candace relax and not feel the burden to carry this team to a championship.
And if Spencer gets hot, you better look out. For most of the year, she was the #1 three-point shooter in the entire country. This is Prince, who had a great game in the semifinals, her best of the tournament. She gives it up to Adjavon, who has blossomed as a superstar here. And Spencer will pick up the foul, her first.
Tennessee foul,
C. Vivian Stringer said this was her least likely team to make the Final Four. They had to beat East Carolina, Michigan State, then the rematch with Duke. That was the big game. They had lost to the Blue Devils by 40 earlier in the season.
Early in November, she said this was the worst defensive team she'd ever coached. It's become the best.
Adjavon, who is cold-blooded, knocks this down, and they're going to check with each other if it was a 2 or a 3. They can go to the monitor for this and see if there was a toe on the line.
Well, one of those officials, in fact, the one on the left is Lisa Mattingly. The one on the right is Tina Napier, along with Michael Price. They make up the national championship crew. Congratulations to Lisa Mattingly. This is her 7th straight championship game. And is that toe on the line by Adjavon?
Watch what you can't see, can you?
Well,
Here we go.
They called it a 3.
I don't know if that's close enough to reverse. This is not like football where you have to have overwhelming visual evidence. There's nothing in the rule about that wording. But if her toe was on the line, it was a millimeter of it. I'll try to give you another look. I love this.
No, just what the players need. They're not nervous enough. We're going to stop the game in the first 3 minutes and give them some more time to think about it. I'll tell you, one of the keys for Tennessee, they talked an awful lot about individual defense and contesting shots early. Remember, Carol Lawson talked about the fact that she thought Tennessee would put some pressure on the shooters. Well, Hornbuckle a little bit slow as you see the replay.
Here's Tennessee's road to the championship. And really, they were not stressed by anybody until the North Carolina game here in the Final Four. Well, I tell you what, this, let's make a decision and get on with it. And they're going to call it a 3. John Madry, our statistician, suggested they call it a 2.5 and a resume play, but there's no room on the scoreboard for the half.
Good switch by Kia Vaughn on the exchange by Essence Carson.
Hornbuckle, nice pull-up, but she can't hit the shot. Prince with a rebound. She had 9 rebounds out of the backcourt the other night. That almost a travel, but they don't get the call, and Vaughn will shoot the jumper. And a Sicky with a rebound.
Well, Vaughn has got some size in there. It'll be interesting to see if Rutgers gets her isolated on the box. Can she do some damage?
Trying to get it into Parker, and kicked again.
Kia Vaughn, 6'4", more than held her own against the nation's best post player at Sylvia Fowles. I thought she was a key part of that win.
Parker with a deep inbound. Carson waiting for it. Parker will shoot over and miss. Rebound to Tennessee.
That shot is the best case scenario. Rutgers would like to make Candace Parker a jump shooter or somebody who has to operate off the dribble.
And a Sicky as they try to work high-low post with Parker inside. Spencer picked up her dribble. Bobbitt's a threat to launch it. She has no fear of anything. Spencer. Another offensive rebound. Tennessee just killing Rutgers on the boards right now. Parker likes to face up and then back in, and drew the contact in the foul.
That is going to be where she can best take advantage of that matchup with Essence Carson.
Carson at 6 feet gives up 4 inches to Parker.
At the line for 2 shots, Candace Parker.
She won the Wade Trophy this week, which is the biggest prize in women's basketball as a National Player of the Year. Everybody's first team All-American. This is the first free throw. Question remains, will she make herself eligible for the draft? She has until tomorrow at 10 a.m. to declare. She would have to graduate by December in order for that to happen.
Correct, and Nancy Lieberman reporting later on some circumstances that may have an influence on that decision. We'll see how that goes.
Tennessee trying to trap. Really good job by Carson to get through all that pressure. Zurich is open, passed on the 3.
If Rutgers does not score in transition, then they slow the pace and look to attack inside of 10. You've got to be tight here.
And that's going to be a foul. It's on Anna Sicky, her first.
Tennessee foul on Nikki Anna Sicky, her first team.
Anna Sicky played all 40 minutes against North Carolina the other night and had a big game. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 block shots, and 5 steals.
Yeah, I thought she was their MVP along with Shannon Bobbitt. When that team was struggling to make points, it was Nikki Anna Sicky who stepped up. Both players played with a great amount of toughness. Anna Sicky tonight, Mike, will guard on the perimeter. At her size, that is a unique situation.
Prince, like most of these kids, a real good free throw shooter. And Rutgers has gotten so much better from the line as the season progressed. Of course, that's a curse, and she misses the second. Spencer, she wanted that shot. Had a good look, couldn't hit it. Another offensive rebound.
You've got to be strong with the ball. Kia Vaughn had done everything except keep control of the basketball on the board.
Good ball movement, wide open is Bobbitt. Couldn't hit it. There's Carson down low getting the rebound. Zurich with a runner. 1 and done for Rutgers. Anna Sicky, the outlet to Hornbuckle. 4 rebounds already for Anna Sicky. And she'll try a 17-footer. Out to Tennessee.
The support players around the Wade Trophy winner, Candace Parker, are going to have to make shots because Rutgers will make it hard on her to score. The first shot of the game, Shannon Bobbitt from New York drains it, and then Sydney Spencer, the senior, steps up.
6-4, Tennessee with the early lead in the women's title game here in Cleveland. Tennessee basketball, as they have dominated the rebounding numbers early in this game.
Well, they've got 5 offensive boards. Rutgers has got to fix that.
10-2 with that one.
That's 6 offensive boards. Sometimes Tennessee's best shot is their second shot. You've got to be fundamentally sound and put a body on somebody.
Parker sets the screen for Hornbuckle. Anasicki backing in. And 3-second call. Go to Mark Jones. Mark?
Guys, you were referring to the second chance opportunities that Rutgers has given Tennessee right now. That's exactly what C. Vivian Stringer addressed in her last huddle. She said, hey, guys, you have to know about Anasicki. She's a great offensive rebounder. Meanwhile, at the offensive end, she wants them to play inside out, ending her huddle by saying, guys, the next 5 minutes is chapter 2. It's crucial. Back to you guys.
Double team on Carson. Finds a way to save it and just got it away to Carson after Adjumon had been doubled up. Shot clock at 6. Carson, nice cut down the lane, basket, and a good no call.
Absolutely outstanding no call. Hornbuckle was too deep in the paint to give her any kind of reward for that kind of defense. Exceptional off the bounce is Rutgers inside of 10 seconds. You better come with good individual defense for Tennessee.
And they are fearless. We're tied at 6. Rutgers in their zone. Anasicki kicks it out and Spencer to fire. Another offensive rebound. Sometimes that's a problem with the zone.
Well, Mark Jones just said it. I mean, Nikki Anasicki has got 103 offensive boards. They addressed her in the huddle. Find her. In essence, Carson, Rutgers wants to control tempo, so if they don't score in transition, shot clock's going to get under 10, and this is what they'll do, folks. Use all that athleticism to rise and fire close range.
Epiphany Prince picked up the last foul. Bobbitt will reset it. Tennessee has missed its last 8 shots. Parker double team, great pass. Anasicki couldn't hit the shot. She thought she was fouled. And there's a travel violation.
Well, one of the things Rutgers is doing right now is they're gambling off of Nikki Anasicki, Mike. They are taking Kia Vaughn, and anytime Candace Parker's around the box, they're sending a different defender. They're coming with Kia Vaughn.
Brittany Ray is going to come in to give Anasicki a breather. She did not leave the ballgame against North Carolina. If you're joining us late, Rutgers and Tennessee for a national championship, 13:44 to go first half of play. We're tied at 6. Even though Tennessee is just killing Rutgers on the board. Bobbitt trying to drive, gets cut off. Parker with a runner short. 0 for 3 from the floor for Parker. A good catch by Carson.
Well, outstanding defense by Carson, making Candace Parker work for it.
Bad pass by Adjumon. Bobbitt, the only one there to get it. Hornbuckle passed on the shot and then tried to drive, knocked away, and out to Rutgers.
One of the most dangerous things you can do against C. Vivian Stringer and this vaunted defense, and look at the numbers, all of those season lows that you see highlighted. One of the most dangerous things you can do against a Rutgers team that's so athletic and has some of the fastest hands in the country, put the ball on the deck. You are asking for it to be stripped.
Carson got it in the lane, pull-up jumper and hits it, and Rutgers takes the lead.
How's that for patience? Don't panic under duress of a triple or a double team, Mike. Just take your time, be composed.
With all the second chances they've given Tennessee, how do they have the lead?
It's amazing that they have not boarded it and been able to sustain this.
Adjumon. Got it inside to Kia Vaughn. She missed the shot, and Zurich will commit a foul coming over the back, trying to get a rebound.
Rutgers foul number 21, Heather Zurich, her first personal, 3rd team foul.
That is the 3rd team foul against Rutgers. Tennessee has committed 2 here in the first half. Bobbitt, who was admittedly overwhelmed after transferring from junior college at the beginning of the season, isn't overwhelmed anymore. She'll play with anybody with a lot of confidence.
And she infuses this team with energy and toughness, Shannon Bobbitt. I love what she's added.
Spencer, and that was a pushing foul as she got the shot on a nice cut.
Rutgers foul number 21.
It's going to be on Zurich, her second.
4th team foul.
Tennessee has not hit a bucket since 1837 was on the first half clock. That's 6 minutes and 37 seconds ago.
So this is the kind of thing Rutgers does. It's amazing when you look at the constitution of Rutgers. 5 freshmen, no seniors. They started out with Ajavon injured. She had to have a rod inserted into her leg in order to deal with a stress fracture. They get out of the gates 2 and 4, and they become one of the nation's best teams. An amazing transformation.
The only people that weren't surprised were the players. They thought they could do it.
And Mike, we haven't seen them overwhelmed by any moment thus far. Not against Duke in the regional semifinals, and not since they've arrived here in Cleveland.
They have always played like they believed they were the better team, and they believed they were going to win. They blinked in the whole tournament. Tennessee has missed its last 11. There's a travel on Essence Carson. Big game, obviously, for both coaches. Close friends. C. Vivian Stringer still looking for that elusive national championship. Pat Summitt looking for number 7. The Empire State Building lit up in red in honor of the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, going for their first national championship since they shared, get this, the men's fencing title in 1949 with Army.
Wow, well, it's amazing what the football team has done, and if this team can couple that success with a women's basketball championship, that is the kind of thing that can elevate an athletics department. It puts it into the forefront of recruits' minds, Mike, and that is what it's all about in any sport, getting players.
Absolutely. Whistle away from the ball. It's going to be a hold on Vaughn.
That's her first personal 15 foul.
Five team fouls on both. And so not long before we're in the bonus. A couple more on each.
Parker for the wide open shot. Nice inbound play. Got her a screen and she was open. Nobody switched.
Yeah, that's a timing play. And Essence Carson was having a hard time contending from 15 feet as Parker got a head of steam up.
Tennessee trying to ratchet up the defensive pressure. Pick up your dribble against Tennessee's defense. It's at your own jeopardy. Ajavon trying to drive. Lost the ball. The shot won't go for McCurdy, who's in for the first time. And here comes Bobbitt.
Well, that could have been an offensive foul on Parker, backing down Carson.
Really loves that fadeaway jumper. She has 6 in the first half. The lead back to 4.
You can see where Tennessee wants to take advantage of her skills. At 6'4", with a smaller defender giving up 4 inches. Clearly, it is an impossible check on that turnaround jump shot. You can't get a hand in her face to defend that.
Ajavon got caught up in the air, somehow got the ball back, and got it to Vaughn inside. What a great job by Ajavon. Here comes Bobbitt. He's going to push the tempo. Parker calls out the play that she wants. Auguste is in for Tennessee. And she gets the pass from Parker. Tied up inside, 3-second violation. And the third turnover against Tennessee.
Candace Parker started over 3. This is a little timing play off the inbounds pass. They get her isolated, an easy deuce. Then back to the basket. That fadeaway jump shot, she goes away from the double team.
12-10. Vaughn to Ajavon. This is the driving layup. Vaughn gets the rebound. Kia Vaughn unspectacularly does a lot of dirty work down court. Offensive rebound and a foul. That looked like a reach-in on Prince, and it is her second.
Kia Vaughn has dropped 30-plus pounds off her frame as they go to the rack. Look at her pursue the basketball. Excellent hands, nice, strong frame. This is a star in the making right here.
Auguste out of Marrero, Louisiana will go to the line. Only a 65% free throw shooter. Got the roll on that one. Let's go to Holly Rowe.
During that last timeout, Pat Summitt was fired up. She came fierily over to the bench, slammed her fist on her whiteboard, and drew 4 circles around the perimeter of her whiteboard and said, if this is what we continue to do, we will lose. We cannot win this game if we don't score points in the paint. You can see the last 2 possessions, they've made more of an emphasis to get it inside. In fact, Candace Parker told her team in that huddle, look, give me a look, guys. I'll work for y'all tonight.
All right, Holly, thanks very much. Parker getting a breather right now. She had a blocking foul called on Tennessee. That will be on Auguste, her first, trying to draw the charge.
Well, the reason they want to take advantage of points in the paint is they have more size. Essence Carson addressed it. She said, we're not going to grow overnight, folks. We're not going to gain a couple of inches.
Timeout by Rutgers as they were having trouble getting the ball inbounds. The NBA on ESPN continues with a doubleheader tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. The Bulls against the Pistons. Then at 10 o'clock, the Sacramento Kings take on the Denver Nuggets. NBA Wednesday on ESPN. Also available on ESPN HD. Bobbitt with 10 on the shot clock.
Well, where do your points come from now? Candace Parker, the offense usually runs through her.
Where does anything come from? Barely got off a shot, and that is a shot clock violation.
Can't imagine they need either Hornbuckle or Parker back in the game to generate some offense.
Back in the lineup for Tennessee.
Well, they're both going to come back in.
And Candace Parker.
But the players on the court have to realize not only who is there, but who isn't. Like, you've got to get a shot when you are uncontested from 20 feet.
Yeah, personnel is a fairly important thing to be aware of.
Tennessee's lead is only 2, although they seem to have dominated play in the first 11 and a half minutes. Carson, double teamed as the shot clock works down to 9. Tennessee doing a better job defensively. Then Vaughn has it knocked away, and it's off of Vaughn.
What's happening out front is as soon as that shot clock goes under 10, Mike, Tennessee comes with a ball screen trap. You know Rutgers wants to drive off the 10, and so they come with a trap and they make things tough.
Vaughn will go out, and Rashida Junaid, the freshman out of New Jersey, will come in. She's given them some valuable minutes. She's really good in the middle, tends to get in foul trouble quickly, though. Parker, double team, kicks it outside. Auguste wheels into the lane, banked it home. Nice shot.
Remember the report by Holly. Let's get point paints, and that's exactly the size differential I'm talking about. That's what Pat Summitt was referencing in that last timeout.
Prince, beautiful spin into the lane, great dish. Epiphany Prince shows you why she was such a great player in high school. She was known for her scoring then, but she's a terrific ball handler.
Yeah, she's very unselfish. I like the way she's approached her time at Rutgers. She has tried to blend in after being a star in high school.
Parker goes with a left hand and misses. Rutgers with a chance to tie with a 2. A 3 would give them the lead. 7 minutes, 4 seconds, and counting. Adjuvant. Pat Summitt calling out encouragement to her defense. A lot of contact, offensive foul. McCurdy out of control, goes down the lane, picks up her first. Back in a moment.
to Cleveland, Tennessee, up by 2. Candace Parker is 2 for 6 to start this basketball game. She is having to contend with a double team every time she catches the basketball. Now, Pat Summitt told us yesterday she does not want Candace Parker to make a living on turnaround, fadeaway jump shots. That is part of the reason she's 2 for 6. She spins away. That's a good feel for her, but is that something you can win a national championship on?
Well, my question would be, with all of her obvious skills, she is not very physical.
But I certainly think Rutgers would like to be as physical as they possibly can be. Essence Carson has a hard job to deal with her on the box.
Nearly thrown away, and now stepped out of bounds is Auguste on the sideline, the 5th Tennessee turnover. And Tennessee still hammering Rutgers on the board, 14-7. 8 of those 14 rebounds, offensive rebounds.
Yeah, the pace of this, despite that rebounding disparity, the pace of this game favors Rutgers right now. This is how they like to play. They shorten the game, try to get inside of 10, and then operate.
Ray had a good look and couldn't hit it. Here comes Hornbuckle. Really good in the open court. Parker wanted it low, didn't get it against the double team. Anasicki. Hornbuckle wide open. She passed on the shot. They got it to Parker. Double team down low that time. She went for it.
Opportunistic. At Kia Vaughn's absence, they just gave up a deuce because Junai did not finish, and they just gave up a deuce on the defensive end because she wasn't in there. That's a 4-point turnaround, and that's the margin.
Angevon threw it away. Somehow Essence Carson got it. Carson misses the jumper. Prince kept it alive. Then she loses it to Hornbuckle. Tied up. And it's a jump ball position arrow. Gives it back to Rutgers.
Checking back in for Rutgers, number 15, Kia Vaughn.
Vaughn will come back in. Junai will sit.
As much as Tennessee is working the post opportunities for Candace Parker, this is what I'd like to see from Rutgers. Neither team shooting a terrific percentage, Mike. You have mentioned the disparity in boards. But why are we not seeing Kia Vaughn get more opportunities on the box? Because who can contend with her physically from Tennessee?
Well, that's something they have said since this tournament began. They would like to see Kia Vaughn get more touches, and it never really seems to happen. There's one. She's double teamed and fouled from behind by Hornbuckle.
One of the things they're doing is Sydney Spencer, who did a sensational job in the semifinals dealing with Erlena Larkins from North Carolina. They are fronting Kia Vaughn, so they're going to make you pass it over her size. Now look at her. That is a 6'3" body with long arms. That's part of the reason Vaughn is not getting touches.
Much harder to do than it is to say. It's like when you say a superstar ought to get 25 every game. Well, if you're double and triple team, it's a little harder to do it. We approach the 5-minute mark. There's a three-pointer that won't go from Carson. Hornbuckle kicks it ahead to Parker. She's got that great second speed. Offensive rebound, Auguste. Partially blocked. Good feed to Auguste, and she scores. Good interior passing as Anasicki dumped it down low.
The size of Tennessee is having an impact on Rutgers right now. That's why the disparity and the points in the paint. Remember the report Holly Rowe did out of a 12-minute timeout. Points in the paint.
20-14, the biggest lead for Tennessee tonight. And Anasicki, a very accomplished passer from the top of the circle. Three won't hit for Carson. One and done for Rutgers.
Yeah, they're not pursuing the offensive glass at all.
Parker wanted it low, instead Anasicki. It looks like that, and there's another offensive rebound. Looks like that, you ought to be able to score. Spencer pull-up jumper, nice.
Second chance opportunities. You give Tennessee multiple looks and they are far too talented. You know, the usually sure-handed Rutgers team, are they starting to feel the pressure? They're so young. Look at this, offensive rebounds, second chance points. That's the difference.
Adjavon has taken over before. Maybe she has to here, and a long pass thrown away. It will be out to Rutgers. There's a timeout with 3:28 to go first half. Tennessee by 6 as they play Rutgers for a national title. 3:28 to go in the half. Tennessee with a 6-point lead. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, there's a familiar face in the crowd tonight, a former Duke player, Sheldon Williams, now playing with the Atlanta Hawks. He's here for good reason. His girlfriend, Candace Parker, is playing in her first national championship game. I asked him before the game, what's your advice for her? You've played on a big stage like this. He said, I just reminded her that all of her hard work has led her to this point, and to have the confidence to let it pay off, that she's put in the time, she's put in the work, and now she's reaping the benefit. He's making a sacrifice. The Atlanta Hawks practice tomorrow morning. He says he thinks he'll be there in time for shoot-around, but if he's not, he will be fined between $2,500 and $5,000. So he thinks he's got it worked out, though, but he thought this sacrifice was worth it.
Well, that's when your girlfriend says, ooh, that's nice. Thank you.
That's as good as flowers. It might be better.
Yes, it is. What a compliment. Here's the steal, Auguste. And she makes a great decision. 1 against 2, she waited for help.
The usually sure-handed Rutgers team doesn't seem as aggressive in stripping the basketball or as solid with the basketball when they've got possession.
Parker, great pass.
We watched film with Tennessee earlier today, and you see Sarah Parker enjoying the passing skills. They talked a lot about that pass, Mike, that behind-the-defense pass. Rutgers is so in tune with the basketball, but sometimes they let their player get away from them.
And when you have somebody of that size, they can pass over the defense. Vaughn again gets it down low on the lob, and it's 24-18. Tennessee starting to play much better in the last 5 minutes. They have been passing on those outside shots. On another offensive rebound, Anasicki knocks it out to Parker. Spencer got it. Second chance points are destroying Rutgers.
It's 13-2 in that category right now, and that's exactly where the difference in this ball game lies. The size of Tennessee. Nikki Anasicki came in with triple-digit offensive boards. Check out.
Epiphany Prince as we go under 2. Tries to get down the lane, gets it to Zurich. Good outside shooter, but not that time. Knocked away out to the Lady Vols.
Now, Candace Parker has the most complete skill set of any player in the country. At 6'4", she sees right over the smaller Rutgers players and an easy deuce. And Sydney Spencer, the senior, would she step out in her final collegiate game and make shots? Number 1 on the jersey. That's a good-looking 3.
Second chance points, Rutgers. 2. Tennessee with 13. Bobbitt will take her time as we're down to 140.
Yeah, danger time here as Rutgers looks like they're going into a... Nope, they're still playing man-to-man, just a little bit softer.
Spencer, another great pass, got it down low. Blocked this time, however, and now Spencer will get it back and fire. And an offense, or the rebound goes to Junaid. Boy, look at Prince. Prince trying to keep Bobbitt away from it so she can get it back, and it's a tie-up. But she could have picked it up again after she lost it.
Yeah, as long as you don't dribble it again, I'm not sure why she wouldn't pick it back up.
I think she was afraid it would be called a double dribble as she tried to pass it, but she could pick.
She could pick that up. She could absolutely pick that ball up.
That says it all, doesn't it?
This team just, you know, they started out the game, they looked fairly confident, ready to go. It was like Tennessee made a couple of shots, and then all of a sudden they lost their composure.
Parker that time. A little bit too strong for Spencer. Let's go to Holly.
Well, guys, one of the rules this year, point of emphasis, is the coaching box and the decorum there. The assistant coaches from Tennessee were just jumping up and down, being very demonstrative. They've gotten a warning from the official, Dee Kantner, or excuse me, it's not Dee, but one of the officials, and she told them they've got to calm it down, sit down on the bench. If they get another offense or another warning, it will be a technical foul.
All right, Holly, let's check in with Mark.
Yeah, guys, earlier this week, the Rutgers team in a timeout right now got a little jolt of championship karma. That's right, they ran into none other than Billie Jean King, arguably the best tennis player ever to play the game on the women's side of the ledger. They ran into her at a local steakhouse when they were having dinner. Now, King took the opportunity to address the team for about 30 minutes. She talked to them about taking cues on how to be a champion, looking for things in your opponents, their reactions, their eyes, and their posture, and especially knowing when to pounce. And when you look at Coach Stringer's record from school to school and now with Rutgers, guys, you would bet that some of those words that King said tied in a lot with some of the words that Stringer has told her team. Back to you.
All right, Mark. And Billie Jean is one of the great self-motivators of all time and really an example for other people in her sport. Jump shot short. 15-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. So Hornbuckle will give it up to Bobbitt, and it's been all Tennessee since the 10-minute mark. Parker one-on-one, drives, no bucket but a foul. You can order copies of every complete game from the 2007 NCAA Division I Women's Championship through NCAA On Demand at ncaasports.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Parker at the line. The foul was on Junaid, her first.
I don't understand why Kia Vaughn remains on the bench again. She's only got one personal foul. Clearly, as soon as Tennessee saw that Rashida Junaid was on Candace Parker, they isolated her at the elbow and let Candace take her off the bounce from the high post. That's a sophomore on a freshman, but one of the most experienced, dangerous players in the nation. That's a bad matchup for Rutgers.
Well, it's like a shark smelling blood in the water. You're right. They see Vaughn's out of there, and it's right down the lane. Parker with 7 first-half points. Missed them both. Loose ball, there's the steal. Auguste. They were so worried about Bobbitt from behind. Parker, another good pass. Auguste got it in the foul. Well, if Parker doesn't score again, she has already given them a lot of value just as a passer.
Well, she's an unselfish player. She's patient. Look at the vision, the ability to see over the defense at 6'4", and the unselfish nature to give it up to Nikki Anasicki.
McCurdy got the last foul, her second. Anasicki missed it, almost got the rebound. And this will be a reach-in foul on Bobbitt.
Tennessee foul on Shannon Bobbitt.
It's a silly one, but it's only their 6th team foul.
And only her first. Now Pat Summitt wants a timeout with 8.4 seconds left. Coming up at the half, we'll check in with Trey Wingo for our halftime report. First half stats and analysis. Brenda Freeze will join us on the set, and Barry Bond's season debut. It's nice talking with Brenda earlier this evening. Did such a brilliant job a year ago winning a national championship from Maryland and fell short in the effort to repeat. Not many people repeat in anything.
That is a hard thing to do. Of course, Florida did it last night. Candace Parker has said she will return, so if she gets one tonight, she'll have a chance to do it again next year. At 6'4", the most complete package. She scores around the rim with great consistency. I like her vision. This fadeaway is tough. This is nothing you want to make your living on. But her ability to pass the basketball and her unselfish nature, she elevates the play of the people around her, and that's the mark of a great player.
Now Tennessee going to put a little pressure defense, so Rutgers may not get an easy shot. Adjavon, fadeaway jumper with 4 on the clock. And Rutgers, frustration may be starting to set in because they played so poorly in the last 10 minutes. Adjavon with 5, Parker with 7. As far as the Star Watch matchup, it's been Parker with the advantage, and Tennessee is a team with an 11-point lead. Offensive rebounds, 12-3. Assists, 7-2. So the fact that they both shot 37-38% doesn't make any difference.
Maya McCurdy has started the half in place of Heather Zurich. That gives them size, athleticism, and Zurich was rendered ineffective. Will McCurdy be more so?
Carson, pull-up jumper over Spencer.
Essence Carson for Rutgers.
And Rutgers comes with that vaunted 55, the staple of Vivian Stringer's system. Will it have an impact?
Foul is going to be called on Prince. That will be her
Rutgers
third.
foul number 10, Epiphany Prince. Her third personal, first team foul of this
She's
game.
coming off her best game of the tournament. For the first time we've been covering Rutgers for a while in this tournament, Doris. We saw them blink in the first half. They showed signs of cracking.
Yeah, this is a group that's composed of individuals with great character, but I think perhaps for the first time it dawned on a team with no seniors. Boy, we're playing for a national title.
Parker baseline. She's in that close.
Lady Ball
She's going to
basket,
score.
Candace Parker.
She has now got 11 points.
Adjavon. Offensive foul.
Control foul on Mathieu Adjavon. Reverse, second team
Well, their
foul.
ability to get off the dribble tests your ability to come over in assistance and provide excellent help defense.
This foul will be on
Rutgers foul
McCurdy.
number 24,
Her
Maya
third.
McCurdy. Her third, team third.
Remember, Rutgers is not that deep.
That's correct, and two of their main people off the bench are freshmen. Pat Summitt reminded her unit of that in their film session earlier today.
Another offensive rebound. Parker, some contact, no whistle, and Parker knocks it down. Another good no call, it looked like.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, she might have used that left hand to push off, but she is just so skilled off the dribble and rise and fire. You will not block that shot.
Biggest lead of the game at 33-20. This is a danger zone for Rutgers. In spite of their great outside shooting in the semifinal, this is a team not built to come from behind in a hurry. Adjavon, nice cut down the lane, goes to the right hand, can't get the shot. And that's a foul on the rebound try as Adjavon got her hands on it.
Well, Candace Parker was named the Wade Trophy winner. There's talk that she's the best player college basketball has ever seen. How about the dribble between the legs by the 6'4" sophomore forward? That was pretty.
That one's out of bounds to Tennessee. Go to Holly.
Well, we have seen Candace Parker put the ball on the floor like she's a small guard countless times. In fact, she's listed as a guard, forward, and center in their media guide. But one of the reasons she's so good with the ball is growing up, she first held the ball when she was 2 years old. She could walk at 8 months, so she was always very active. Her dad, Larry, knew she was going to be a tall kid when she was 50 inches tall in kindergarten. So he forced her, or suggested that she use both hands all the time and that she learn how to handle the ball.
Great training.
She's exceptional with either hand, can make it around the rim with the left or the right, making it harder to check it.
Spencer has one rim out, Vaughn with the rebound.
I think Rutgers needs to make a concerted effort to get Kia Vaughn some touches on the box. Sydney Spencer is facing her, but do something to get that powerful body open.
That would help. Rutgers once has come from 11 down. And there's Vaughn, and she missed a point-blank look. Got it back. Into the lane over Parker. They have come from 11 down, but never this far this year. Anisicki against the double team. Bobbitt, good pass over to Hornbuckle. Tennessee concentrating so hard on the inside game. Here comes the double team on Parker. Nearly lost it. Saved by Bobbitt. 7 on the shot clock. Bobbitt. And she's fouled.
Kia Vaughn was 3 for 5 in the first half. She finishes at a high percentage. She misses the chippy. A little mishandled by Hornbuckle, and that allows her a second chance opportunity. I think you still have to go to her and allow her to get some touches and see if she can be effective.
Foul was on Adjavon, her second. This Rutgers team is so unbelievably young.
5 freshmen, no seniors. The 2 most experienced players are Carson and Ajavon, the juniors.
Parker goes with a left hand. Can't hit that. Long with the rebound. Ajavon pushes it up. McCurdy got the roll.
Great play. She knew that a shot blocker extraordinaire was in her grill, so she gets it high off the window.
There's the trip. Bobbitt goes down hard. She got through 3 people, and the foul will be called on Ajavon. That's number 3 on Mati Ajavon.
That is a big call. They cannot win the basketball game if Mati Ajavon has to go to the bench.
Well, they're throwing everything defensively they can at them, but if they don't get the ball away from Bobbitt, she's going to get through it. Prince and McCurdy and Ajavon all have 3 for C. Vivian Stringer. Parker looks for that cutter first. Left hand just threw that one up there. Followed by Anasicki.
Basket point, Vicky Anasicki.
And the basket will count.
For second, team 6. There's a timeout on the board.
15:57 to go for a national championship. The lead at 9.
The whole state of Tennessee's counting on you.
Come on, baby.
The whole state of Tennessee's counting on you. You looked at the orange in this building? You know why they're here? For you and to help you win. But you're the ones that have to get it done. And you better make it happen starting right now.
You wonder how many times Pat Summitt has made that same speech, but she's got to deliver it every time like it's the first time she ever said it to make them believe it. And she did.
Yeah, there's conviction in that message. There's a real relaxed presence. She's a lighter individual. When you watch her on the sideline, you think she's so intense, but she's a lighter individual when you get to meet her personally and chat with her a bit.
Oh, she's a nice person. There's no doubt about that. She's a pretty good cheerleader, too, as she showed us earlier this year. Anasicki, no. Can't complete the 3-point play. The lead is still 11. Vaughn. Double team, got it anyway.
Every time she touches it, something positive happens back to Rutgers. They should just ride her. Look at that field goal percentage.
Brittany Ray is in for Rutgers. She contributed in a big way the other night.
And they're switching defenses now at 2-3. This is the first time they've run this. They're just trying to come up with different schemes to slow Tennessee down.
Got to look out for Bobbitt and Spencer. In long range. Shot clock at 3. Spencer sees it, now has to fire under pressure. Offensive rebound, Anasicki right in the middle of 3 Scarlet Knights.
Pat Summitt talked about Nikki Anasicki being anxious on the offensive end, but on the glass, she's been superb.
She has 11 rebounds tonight, 7 on the offensive end. She is dominated. Spencer, too strong. Spencer kept it alive, but committed the foul over the back of Brittany Ray. That will be 3 on Sydney Spencer. Pat Summitt going for her 7th national championship, and she has a 9-point lead. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights going for their first. Can they come from behind? Second chance points say no, they can't, because Tennessee, 16 offensive rebounds would have resulted in 17 points. That's obviously the difference in this ballgame.
Now Keena Vaughn is checking out of the basketball game, has checked out. Now she just scored. Whatever Vivian Stringer is telling her, it's got to be something important, because she's been their best weapon offensively.
We've got Junaid back in the game. Junaid has been a liability defensively. Ajavon kicks it out. McCurdy, a brick. Ray, offensive rebound. Junaid.
No, that touched rim. It looks like Michael Price is saying he's tapping his head as if that's a shot clock violation, but I thought that touched orange on the second shot.
I did too.
It has to touch orange. It doesn't on the first, clearly.
This one did. I mean, that's tough to miss that one. All right, the shot clock won't reset for that. Now they're going to call it an inadvertent whistle, and Rutgers will get the ball back. So it really didn't result in any Rutgers points because they did not score on the third shot.
So Lisa Mattingly going to give clarification to both coaches.
That would seem to be a fair rule.
That's correct, because Rutgers had possession. They made the shot. It was at that point the horn went off because there was no reset. So this is exactly what should happen.
But there's 29 seconds on the shot clock. That's the only part of that I would question.
No, what should happen, Mike, they got the third shot, so about 1 second went off. The clock is appropriate.
Yeah, you're right. One of the few breaks Rutgers has gotten for second chance points opportunities. They need to take advantage of it. Kia Vaughn back in. Carson picked up her dribble. 8 on the shot clock. Tenacious defense by Tennessee. Hornbuckle will pick up her second foul, fighting through that screen.
I like that, though. They were so aggressive in denying the basketball. Pat Summitt has got to applaud the effort of Hornbuckle. She's trying to keep it out of Ajvan's hands.
Third team foul on Tennessee. Rutgers has committed 6.
Now Tennessee goes zone and challenges Rutgers to make shots.
Three-pointer is bricked out of the corner by Ray, but there's the follow. 12 points for Kia Vaughn and a whistle.
Kia Vaughn continues to be a force inside. Sydney Spencer looks like maybe changes the trajectory of that shot, and Vaughn the offensive putback. Good stuff by Kia.
It was a delay of game warning on Adjavon for slapping the ball after the basket. Players love to do that so they can set their defense.
Just 7.
35-28, you're right. Can they make a run? Sicky was wide open. They finally covered up on the double team. Zurich got a piece of the block. Offensive rebound to Spencer.
Size at every position.
Shot clock did not recycle, of course. Another offensive rebound. Bob it out of the corner, and that's a killer. Credit Candace Parker with the offensive rebound on the last sequence.
It is not enough for you to go ahead and try to out-jump Tennessee. They've got too much size and skill. You've got to put a body on somebody, Mike, and back them out of the paint.
Vaughn wants the ball. They get it to her against Parker. It's a tough shot for her, and it rattles in and out. Bobbitt launches another 3. Tipped out of bounds by Tennessee. Now the officials looking at each other.
As it should be. Yeah, you know what? Michael Price, I think, had the better view of that. It looked like Tina Napier was trying to convince him otherwise, but he was solid in his conviction that it was going to go to Rutgers.
12-14 to go in this championship game, and a 10-point lead against Rutgers is big because they take so much time on every possession. If they score at the normal rate, they're not going to get that many possessions. Adjavon can't hit the 3. They don't get any second chance opportunity. Bobbitt kicks it back out. Spencer. Bobbitt wide open. Got it! Another dagger in the heart.
Great ball movement. I mean, that is Candace Parker looking to distribute on the fast break. The floor was spread. Rutgers just does not have the same swagger, the confidence, the persona that had rattled so many opponents.
Bobbitt got it away from Adjavon. Hornbuckle, great head fake.
You got to get a timeout right now. This has gotten away from you. Your team has got no confidence at this point if you're Vivian Stringer. Get a timeout.
The lead has grown to 15, the biggest of the game. And Rutgers' dreams of a national championship starting to slip away.
Shannon Bobbitt is starting to rain threes from all over the floor. She distributes to Sydney Spencer, who gives it right back. And this Tennessee team looks very confident. Pat Summitt saying, get back on defense. Hornbuckle gets out in the open floor. Nice hesitation.
The last time Rutgers won a national championship was in 1949. They shared it with Army in fencing. Tonight might have been the night to snap that long streak, but right now they'll need their best comeback of the season to accomplish it.
Let's give some credit to the offensive rebounding ability and the defense. Tennessee, we've talked a lot about Rutgers' defense. How about Tennessee? 28 points on the board with 10 plus remaining.
They have been brilliant. Adjavon with a miss. Offensive rebound, a rare one for Rutgers, but the miss by Carsons before Parker kicked it out of bounds.
There's a timeout on the
Timeout, 10:40 to go in the championship game. The lead is 15. If you're thinking three-pointers that would help a Rutgers comeback, they were only 1 out of 6 tonight. Remember, against LSU in the first half, they were 8 out of 10. They could certainly use a hot streak like that, Doris.
Well, here's the difference. Most teams in this tournament conceded that shot to Vivian Stringer's team. They thought, you know what, they cannot consistently knock down the jump shot. The difference for Tennessee is they're putting all kinds of pressure on those shooters. They're not conceding anything, and that's why that 1 for 6 has happened tonight.
Great coaching move by Pat Summitt. She saw what happened, 8 out of 10. A huge boost. Vaughn against the double team, she fouled.
Tennessee foul on Candace Parker.
Wow. I wouldn't mind seeing that one again. She could get up and she blocks with either hand, Candace Parker.
And the line for 2 shots, number 15, Kia Vaughn.
Does have some physical skills, doesn't she? Vaughn's been the big offensive weapon for Rutgers tonight, 12 of their 28.
Well, we get the benefit of the second look. You know, Candace Parker is an outstanding shot blocker. Yeah, that's an absolute foul, no question. Ooh, and she can't believe it. Has there ever been a player who's admitted to a foul?
Not one. Vaughn hits them both. 43-30. Parker will help on the press. It's such a good ball handler. Then she can throw over the top of the defense. Bobbitt hits another 3. Holy cow, she had a big second half. Bobbitt has a dozen.
Her 4th 3, she has been so confident, the smallest player, but her teammates say she's got the biggest heart.
At 5'2", she is the shortest player ever offered a scholarship in the Southeastern Conference. Vaughn got it back again, and walked.
Traveling violation, Tennessee's ball.
Now, Shannon Bobbitt, a New Yorker who played with Epiphany Prince on a couple of state championships. And Vivian Stringer just absolutely disgusted.
(46-30). Tennessee in complete command at this point. They've done a great job with that high-low passing. And Bobbitt's starting to feel it now, misses that one. Good job by Prince to come under control. And Bobbitt would have taken another one away from him. 9:09 to go.
And now they start to try and get in front of Kia Vaughn, force the lob pass with Candace Parker waiting to give some assistance.
The outside game is going to have to work. Prince drives and draws a foul.
Tennessee foul on Candace Parker.
That's on Parker. That's number 2 on Parker. Prince at the line. She was a leading scorer for this club until a couple of weeks ago. Lost it, nearly regained it. Vaughn has assumed that mantle.
You know, Mike,
Prince misses.
before the LSU game, when we met with C. Vivian Stringer, there was an incredible level of confidence. There was great conviction that they could beat LSU. When we met with Vivian Stringer the other day, I didn't have that same sense that she was as confident that they could beat Tennessee.
Would you be confident playing Tennessee?
Not with a woman who's won 900-plus games and 6 titles. I'd be a little bit nervous.
No, she doesn't inspire confidence against her. Hornbuckle wide open. No. Offensive rebound. Boy, has Anasicki been a monster on the board.
Rutgers foul on Epiphany Prince.
Fouls on Prince. That's 4 on the freshman out of New York.
At the line for 2 shots,
14
Nikki Anasicki.
rebounds for Anasicki, only 1 short of her best game this year.
It's their 19th offensive rebound of the game.
Good time to step up, huh? Misses the free throw, and the problems continue to mount for Rutgers as Prince will have to sit down with her 4th personal. See, Vivian Stringer won't be able to leave her there for very long. Bet on that. Second is no good. Look at Bobbitt. 5-2. She gets an offensive rebound. Adjavon dribbles out of trouble. Zurich, good head fake to get open and then makes the shot from 18 feet.
You're going to have to start coming with some pressure and get them to turn it over. This is a team that's got to start to get some of its swagger back, and you got to do it pretty soon, Mike. This game is close to being over.
Well, if Shannon Bobbitt is going to get offensive rebounds against you at 5-2, it is over. Parker didn't get the roll on that one. Rutgers is not going to be able to follow this familiar pattern of if they don't score early to take it down to 10 seconds. They don't have that luxury anymore.
No, what is Tennessee doing? They're pushing up early to make sure they're not getting transition points.
Vaughn, good fake, but called for travel. Timeout, 7:34 to go for a national title. It's Tennessee by 13.
Time for the Pontiac game-changing performance of the tournament. Had to be the second-half comeback of Tennessee against North Carolina, outscoring them 20-2 to advance to the final. For their efforts, Pontiac will donate $5,000 to the Tennessee General Scholarship Fund.
Thank you, Trey Wingo. 7 minutes, 34 seconds to go in this game. Tennessee in command with a 13-point lead.
Yeah, Rutgers pushing up on the pressure now, just going to try to make some turnovers. Thus far, Tennessee 1 turnover in the second half. They've handled everything Rutgers has thrown at them.
So tough to get Bobbitt in any kind of trouble. She's so quick. You want somebody who can keep the dribble low to the floor. Well, she starts that way.
Yeah, her center of gravity. It's hard to strip her when the ball is being bounced off the floor.
Shot clock down to 5. Spencer to the baseline. She's got a pretty looking jump shot and gets the shooter's touch.
Well, that's the perfect possession when you've got this kind of lead. The shot clock was well inside of 10. You got a quality look along the baseline from somebody who's got great size at 6'3". I think the size has been a real issue for Rutgers.
McCurdy and Brittany Ray are both in there for Rutgers right now. Let's go to Mark Jones.
Hey guys, during the last timeout, Vivian Stringer spoke to her squad about ratcheting up the pressure defensively, and you saw them come out a little three-quarter court, half-court type of trap. But at the offensive end, she really stressed working inside to that lady right there, Kia Vaughn, and looked at Essence Carson right there and said, the time is now. Start making some shots. Back to you guys.
Where the time is now, Mark. Maybe beyond now. Hornbuckle kicks it out to Bobbitt.
Rutgers in the 2-3 zone. This allows Tennessee to simply pass around until it gets inside of 10.
Sure does. Tied up here. They do get a steal off of it. Here comes Adjamon. She is fouled by Anasicki. It's an excellent point, Doris. When you have to strip the ball, go for steals, it's just hard to imagine they're in a zone right now. And the lowest point total ever scored in a championship game, 44 by Louisiana Tech. That was against Tennessee. Rutgers is going to have to go to get to 44. Ray. Anasicki tries to save, and it's out of bounds.
Boy, Nikki Anasicki, I thought she saved them in the semifinal. She was doing a terrific job scoring, rebounding, setting screens, blocking shots. You see the offensive rebounding disparity. She's been a huge force tonight on the backboards and been the major factor in that offensive rebounding differential.
Don't see a lot of sense of urgency from the Rutgers offense right now. Zurich gets the ball, missed. Keelan scores, and she'll draw a foul. I know you don't want to panic, but you do have to hurry.
Yeah, you have got to have as efficient an offensive set as you can get. You've got to go in the first 10 seconds. Zurich, a little free throw line jump shot. Vaughn has been sensational all night.
At the line for one shot, Keelan.
They gave the foul to Spencer. That's 4 on Spencer. 16 points for Vaughn. Doesn't get the bounce on the free throw. 5:48 and counting. The lead is 13. No pressure on Bobbitt as she brings it up. Vaughn, 7 out of 13. The rest of the team, a lot of bricks.
Good patience against the zone. Ball has moved side to side. You've gone inside out.
Doris, they don't have to score.
No, they could simply offer. Look at Anasicki again.
Bad pass that time by Hornbuckle. You have to wonder what she was thinking. Cross-court pass picked off by Tennessee. Hornbuckle. Baseline jumper and got it.
Alexis Hornbuckle for Tennessee.
(50-35). Boy, Tennessee has been terrific tonight.
Yeah, there is no energy coming whatsoever from this Rutgers team. This team is not a team that has belief that it can win this basketball game right now.
Zurich knocks it down. Here comes the defensive pressure, finally. But look at him drop back. Doris, I just don't get this.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she's going with this, because this is a team that needs to make turnovers, and the way you do that is to press at the trap and to play man-to-man. But that last graphic, remember what we said at the start of this telecast, Mike? Somebody besides Parker had to make shots. 33 between Bobbitt and Spencer. There was your answer.
Parker fadeaway. Anasicki with another offensive rebound. And you look at the defense Rutgers is playing right now. They're virtually conceding the ballgame.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that has had great belief in its ability to beat its opponents. From the outset tonight, it was a team that lost its swagger.
Shooting 1 and 1 for Tennessee, Nikki Anasicki.
Anasicki at the line, 6'4" junior out of Staten Island, New York. 16 rebounds, 10 of them on the offensive end. A season high for Nikki Anasicki. Vaughn kicks it out, the long jumper to Carson. Had a toe on the line, it's a 2-point jumper. Tennessee will call a timeout at the 3:44 mark.
It's a 30-second timeout.
It's about the press bait from this point forward, and the best option they have, Mike, is get the ball to Candace Parker at 6'4" in the middle of the floor and let her just look over the defense.
Go to Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, Tennessee had a turning point in their season. It was a 9-point loss in the SEC semifinals to LSU. They were embarrassed. Candace Parker had a career low 4 points. And they had a team meeting after that. Nikki Anisicki was the leader in that meeting, and Candace Parker said she let me have it. She let me know that I had let the team down and that I needed to get my act together. Anisicki was the leader and had them all write down what their roles would be for the rest of the year. Nikki said, I needed people to define what they could be held accountable for. You saw them there. Simple things like Candace needed to play both ends of the floor. Nikki needed to be the defensive stopper. They believe they have held to those roles, and the postseason has been a different story.
And you know what, Holly Rowe? Last year, Pat Summitt said, I knew we couldn't win a championship. There was no chemistry. There was some jealousy on the team. You sensed from her yesterday that she believed this team had a title in it.
And again, no defensive pressure from Rutgers. Now, finally, there is a 323 for Anisicki. 16 rebounds, 10 of them on the offensive end. Those are both career highs. What a brilliant way to finish the season with a career performance in the national championship game. Zurich short on the jumper. Parker with a rebound. Kicks it ahead to Hornbuckle. And this is all Tennessee needs to do.
Just space the floor. Make sure you do not shoot it inside of 10. I don't understand the zone. Again, you've got to come out and trap and press, start fouling if you have to.
No, it's mind-numbing to me that you're down to 11 and you're playing that kind of defense. Adjavon knocks down a three. It's a huge shot for her and gives Rutgers some hope.
And now they push up with the pressure.
Pat Summitt says, run the offense.
This possession can get you down to 2 minutes.
Parker slashes in. Another offensive rebound and a fresh 30. You're not going to get it away from Bobbitt very often, unless you get her with a 5-second call. Hornbuckle under 2 minutes. Leans into it. Offensive rebound, Parker in the foul.
Well, Pat Summitt has won 6 titles. Very often they were the most dominant rebounding team in the country when they did it. She called this one of the worst rebounding teams in her history, but they focused on it in the postseason. They are now +8. And tonight, the difference in this game has been their ability to offensive board it. There have been white jerseys pounding the glass night after night. It has resulted in multiple second chance opportunities, and Tennessee is 1 minute and 45 from giving Pat Summitt number 7.
Elvis was in the first class in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 1986. It also included Chuck Berry, James Brown, Ray Charles, Fats Domino, and Buddy Holly. That's a pretty good class to be in.
Candace Parker at the line.
Love Ray
shooting 2.
Charles. Love his music.
Parker at the line. A 16-point lead has been cut in half. Parker so smooth. Only 2 out of 5 tonight from the line. .52-42. Her mom and her boyfriend, Sheldon Williams.
Got to be really efficient here. As many quick hitters as you can score on.
Adjavon. Bobbitt. Triple teamed, out of bounds to Tennessee. Even triple teamed, you think she's going to get out of it.
Her dribble is so low to the ground, it's almost impossible to strip her.
Anisicki will inbound.
You have got to start fouling if you do not get a quick strip. You have got to make this game as long as you can. There it is.
And Parker draws the foul from Carson.
Rutgers foul on SS Carson.
Well, Rutgers,
That's her third.
yeah, they did a heck of a job shooting threes. When they make shots, they are tough to beat. Tonight, they were unable to, Mike. And I think that has to do with the strategy of Tennessee coming out and pressuring them from the outset.
10 out of 20 in the semifinal, but the bigger story was 8 out of 10 in the first half. And Parker will go to the line. check in with Holly.
Well, there's been so much talk that Candace Parker may declare for the WNBA draft and leave school early. Tennessee has released a statement saying they believe that she is not eligible because she will not graduate until May 2008. She has said she's coming back to school. Her coach, Pat Summitt, said she's believed that she's coming back to school. But some sources have said that there is big money for Candace Parker out there if she would declare early for the WNBA, not just in endorsements, big money to play in Russia or Korea as Kia Vaughn scores there. Big decision for Candace Parker coming up.
Now the big money is overseas, particularly in Russia, where they're willing to pay a ton for players.
Yeah, between $600,000 and $1 million. This is an unprecedented situation in the history of women's college basketball. Clearly, with Sylvia Fowles and Candace Parker, much of the talk centered around whether either of those two would declare early.
She's shooting 2.
Sylvia Fowles is out of the draft. She had to declare by 5 p.m. the day after she lost. Candace Parker would have until 10 a.m. tomorrow, but Holly's point is an important one. If she is not on track to graduate in the year she wishes to be drafted, she is ineligible.
Parker has built the lead to 11 with only 1:08 to go. Make it 12. And Rutgers wasted so much time in that zone defense and allowing Tennessee to burn one possession after another off the shot clock. And there's a pass to Kia Vaughn, too strong by Prince. And really, at this point, 2-pointers aren't going to do you any good either.
No. It's going to be a hold before any time goes off.
Boy, and Zurich just reached out and grabbed Auguste and wouldn't let her go. Auguste wants an intentional foul and was upset about it. And that should have been called an intentional foul. If you grab somebody like that, just with the idea that you're going to create the foul, you're not making a play on anything. And obviously, they're going after a 65% free throw shooter in Alberta Auguste.
Well, Pat and Candace sharing a smile. It's extraordinary what Pat Summitt has done. She's averaged 28 wins per year over 32 years. This is her 7th season with 33-plus wins. She's on the verge of a 7th national title that would put her 3 behind the legendary John Wooden.
And if you say, how many Sweet 16s have you been to? You can say, how many have there been? I've been to all of them. Carson under pressure. Parker fouled her and fouled her behind the three-point line. So the last thing they want is to stop the clock and foul a three-point shooter. The numbers on Summitt. This would be number 7. Gino Auriemma has won 5.
She's shooting 2.
So that is exclusive company.
Now, the thing about it is, she is a young woman who could coach easily for another 15 years. You had mentioned on the semifinal night, it's possible she could get to 1,000 wins before she gets to 200 losses. That's incredible.
Just a remarkable record. Free throw won't go, and Rutgers down to its last gasps at this point. Carson, a 76% free throw shooter. Had a great game against LSU, 15.6 rebounds. 8 tonight. Misses the first 2. Dominique Redding will come in for Tennessee. She got her name in the scorebook as Anna Sickey goes out and gets a standing ovation from the Tennessee crowd and a few other people as well. She was brilliant in the middle.
I thought she was their MVP in the semifinal. You could make a case for her being the MVP tonight. And Redding, a senior, nice gesture by Pat Summitt to get her in the game.
Kia Vaughn hits the shot after 3 consecutive missed free throws. This is Bobbitt. They're trying to foul her. They have to catch her first. Good luck on that one. It took about 5 seconds.
Rutgers foul number 22.
Foul will be on Adjavon. That's her 4th. We'll take a look at tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Powerade and Candace Parker with 17.6 boards and 3 assists.
And for Rutgers,
She's got her national title. We said at the start of this ball game that her legacy was on the deck. She asked not to be included with Shamika Holdsclaw and Tamika Catchings as the all-time greats at Tennessee until she had a title to her credit.
Bobbitt knocks this one down. The rare junior college transfer into Pat Summitt's program. Well, Parker, whether she stays in school another year or not, with a brilliant future in professional basketball, maybe back next year for another championship. Bobbitt nearly swiped that one. Carson can't hit it, and another rebound to Parker. Shot clock is off. For the 7th time in their brilliant history, and for the 7th time in Pat Summitt's exceptional career, Tennessee wins a national championship.
Extraordinary women. Vivian Stringer will be back. No seniors on that roster, but Pat Summitt is the preeminent coach in women's college basketball, and she just continues to add to her legacy.
Another remarkable achievement for Tennessee. They had not won a championship since 1998. The drought is over.